Suzanne Johnson, and I really enjoy teaching this class. I call this class the Everything Chicken class because at that point when I said I'd do it, I had no idea what everything chicken might be. So, and I'm noticing that this chicken's still a little frozen. Well, we're gonna fake it, right? Let's see.
Suze, can I say something while you're doing?
Uh-huh.
If you're gonna come to the cake in a mug class, you need to bring a larger ceramic mug that'll work in a microwave. So bring your mugs, okay? Because I don't plan on buying a dozen mugs to teach the class.
Well, you
That's
need about 30 of
It's a
them.
little march.
You need 30 ones.
Well, and you don't want like they give you in a restaurant, that little, you want a bigger, or you have to take all of the others.
So I would suggest that you just lean against the back counter, you guys, because you can't see unless you sit back here.
There
Or
is one
stand by
chair,
me.
there's a chair here and a chair there. Oh, and one there, I'm sure.
Well, can you see the mirror? It's the mirror. It's the great mirror that I think is ill-placed. But who knows?
They have the good thoughts.
Huh?
They have the good thoughts.
I know, they thought about it.
Just needs to be reset.
Okay, I'm getting there. Anyway, so I named this class Chicken Everything because I didn't know what I was gonna do then. So, this is what I've decided to do. I'm still setting up. This little, one time I left the lid on my grandpappy, and then I had this big blob of rubber on top of my oil. Wasn't a good idea. Oh no. Woo, let's have a fire, huh?
You want me to clean that off?
Yeah.
While you carry on?
Anyway, I think, I've always thought that this class is like, the people who come to this class are like master cookers. You know, you kind of like to learn new things and see things because you've been around and you've done a little cooking already, right? So I thought I would challenge you and myself on how to bone a chicken. Now you can call it bone a chicken or debone a chicken. I looked it up to see if there was one that was correct, because I always called it bone. That means take it off, but it's also called debone. So I thought, I better look, because on your recipes it says bone a chicken. And this is just a fun thing to learn, but it's a good thing to learn in the fact that what if someday we all decide to raise chickens and we're gonna eat chickens, then we should know how to prep a chicken. And the other thing is, right now, whole chickens are about $1.30 or $1.40 a pound, which seems like a lot, and for most of us, time is money, so it's just easier to go buy a boneless chicken thigh, boneless breasts, and all that kind of stuff. But, just so that you know, this is one chicken's worth of chicken breasts. That's a lot of chicken breasts. And the cool thing about this is that when you bone a chicken, you will have dark meat and you will have light meat. You will have whole breast fillets or a whole thigh and drumstick that doesn't have a bone. So you have a lot of ways that you can fix it, okay? So I ask you to be patient and not be scared of boning a chicken. And if I don't do a great job, you can see the potential.
Suzanne, right now
whole chickens. So last week I bought two chickens and I got them free for $13 a piece.
Good.
So
So,
that's good since tomorrow night, have
Fred Meyer.
Fred Meyer, I stepped on the house. When you bought? I went to Fred Meyer, I bought it last week and it did sell Tuesday night. So you could go to Dan tomorrow. And it's
Carla. Thank you so much. So I decided to keep it a little bit simple today, because my brain isn't hitting all the pistons. So the more simple, the better. That's why I picked bone-in chicken. Come on, that's not simple. But what it is simple is I pre-cooked, this is called butter chicken. And it's Indian style chicken, and you will eat it over rice. And it is made from, the recipe is so simple. You use whole fat plain yogurt. And you can't buy them in the little things, you can only buy them in the big things. So I guess you can have sour cream or whatever else that you need. This is not a skinny meal. You can make it skinny if you used non-fat, that use whole cream. I use extra heavy cream from Costco, the 49% kind. It uses chili powder. It uses garam masala. And there was a day when you couldn't get garam masala very easily, but now we have the Himalayan food and grocery store that's right hooked to Goodies. They have garam masala, and I actually bought garam masala off of Amazon in this gigantic thing. And when we were in Thailand about 3 years ago, my daughter-in-laws decided they were gonna clean out our pantry because it was such a mess. So they threw away all of our older spices, right? So then I had to go buy another one. But that would have lasted a couple of years.
They also sell it at Fred Meyer's.
Fred Meyer.
I just bought some maybe 3 months ago.
Right, and I bought this at either Winco or Fred Meyer, so many things are more available these days. So it's garam masala.
It's garam masala.
Garam,
Yeah, the word garam means hot or heat. Garam masala.
garam masala.
So
Yeah.
spicy.
I'm a native speaker, so.
Oh. And how do you say turmeric? Turmeric. I don't know what it's for. I mean, it just has this very peculiar old smell. That's really, it's keeping what? Oh, inflammation down. And then I use cumin. So this is really, this cumin, this is really an Indian curry. So we're using all the individual things that make up butter chicken. Because when you go and buy Thai curries and stuff like that, they've got all of the herbs and everything mixed up, and you buy it and just use a spoonful. So this one, this particular recipe, you just add all of those yourself. And then I use this kind of a lemon, so you can use fresh lemons if you want. And I used real ginger at home, but I didn't bring real ginger here. But I also used real garlic at home, but I didn't bring real garlic here. So when I cook the Chinese garlic chicken, we're gonna use this because it's easier to transfer. We'll decide whether it's good or not. So that's this dish right here. I think you'll really like it.
So if you don't have fresh ginger, what would be the powder you
Just look for a butter chicken flavor packet.
Suzanne, you can get ginger in a squeezable tube, too, at Fred Meyer's, they have it over there.
See if you can lean against those walls back there, you can see better. Anyway, You'd be surprised at how many.
Google it. Google
You'd be surprised at how many flavor packets you can actually buy that's already, where everything's all mixed together, and then you just add it to your chicken. Maybe add coconut milk or add cream or something like that, if you don't wanna make it from scratch. But everything here I mentioned you would have at home except for the garam masala. Garam masala, right? So if you make Spanish, Mexican food, you've got all that stuff at home anyway.
I have a question, please. So
Huh?
when you said lemon juice, the lemon juice that you have is different flavor than the fresh.
Yes.
So you want to put in less than that and more, like a 2 tablespoons of lemon, fresh lemon, and less than that?
Yeah, what, you always wanna use fresh everything, unless you're in a hurry or have to carry stuff everywhere and have to teach a lot of people. That's when you go with the simplified version. And today when I make the garlic Cantonese fried chicken, this is a recipe that my brother and Danny Hong used to make at the Hong Kong cuisine. So I asked him, and I remember making this 40 years ago when I was teaching at ISU. And I couldn't remember if we used canned mushrooms and canned beans or fresh mushrooms and fresh green beans. I kind of remember they were canned. And so I asked him last night, he goes, man, this is ancient times. He said, you can just use canned. And I remembered I loved it so much. So these are canned, but once again, you can use fresh, right? But if you use fresh, you want to blanch it first so that
Which one is that you're referring to?
it's gonna be Cantonese fried chicken. And when we made that, I had already boned a chicken at home, and then I cut all of these, the 2 chicken breasts. I just can't believe how much chicken is in a whole chicken. And then I put some garlic salt on it today, just to let it have some flavor before I dip it in egg and flour and deep fry it. Okay? Any questions? So far, pretty simple, huh? And then you also know that you can always make gravy out of any of your juice. So if you want your tikka masala, your butter chicken thicker, you can add a little cornstarch and some water to thicken it. And when I make it at home, because we have like 15 people over every Sunday, I'll make a batch like this, and I'll also put potatoes in it.
Oh, shoot.
So then you got this big pot.
We sneak in, yeah.
And then our kids all like rice, so I just cook 6 cups of rice in a rice cooker, and everybody has a good time. So, and you can add celery.
Recipe, we printed more off these.
So you can always add more vegetables to it, it changes the flavor a little, but I say I put potatoes in any curry because it tastes better. But this is pure, dark chicken meat. So these are chicken thighs. So when I cut the chicken thigh up from the chicken that I did bone, it only had about 2/3 of this. And I bought the chicken at Winco, and it was $1.31 a pound for 2 chickens. They come in a 2 chicken thing. And then today I went and bought 1 chicken to demonstrate, and it was $1.41 a pound. But the 1 chicken breast, the chicken thighs from the chicken that I boned wasn't enough. So I went and bought another package of boneless chicken thighs at Winco, and it was 1.77 pounds, and it was $6.
Oh my goodness.
See, so you do pay for convenience, but many of us are to the point where we like convenience more. Not in the young buck days. When we only had $2, we had to feed 6 people, right? Okay, to bone a chicken, I want you to know that if you try to bone a chicken with a butter knife, you will have the worst time in your entire life. You will see how I cut this chicken, and it's like these, this knife is magical, it just goes through. And you can use a whetstone, you can use all kinds of sharpening things, but this is the one that Susie turned us on to a few years ago. And you just go like this. And then I turn it over and do it on both sides, and it's so sharp. When I was boning my other chicken, first thing I did was cut my finger. So then I had to stop and keep it from bleeding all over. Okay, so we're gonna start. Now I'm gonna turn this off. I just wanted it so that it wasn't gonna go from pure cold. Okay, here's another trick that I like to use. How many of you have these little covers for your sheet pans at home? I use it all the time when I'm preparing things because it has an edge, so you don't have to dirty 15 bowls or whatever, and you can put it here and they're easily washed. So I'm gonna use this to bone my chicken, and I just take the big one and then I put a cutting board in it so that when I'm done and I need to cut it into little pieces, I can use this and I don't cut up my cover. So that's just a little trick.
And those are called what?
Yeah, usually,
You can get them at the school.
yeah, usually you can get them at the school district, you know, when they have their pan sales. Or you can go on, you know, my favorite place, but we're not supposed to talk about Amazon.
Fred Meyer's has them, Walmart has them.
Yeah, so just look around.
It's just a baking pan with a lid on top.
So the reason I really like the sheet pan covers is when you make Texas sheet cakes and things that you take to parties. Then you can just put a lid on it, take it with you. Okay. This is scary. I'm trying to make it not scary so you're not intimidated. Look at this giant chicken. This chicken weighs 8 pounds. And I'm pretty sure when I was demonstrating this 40 years ago, they didn't weigh 8 pounds.
They weigh 2.5 or 3 pounds.
Yeah, but now they're genetically altered, and that's why I think that the breasts are so huge. Because when I went to pick it up to do my thing with it, I had a hard time even picking it up to take the breasts out. So mind you, I'm just taking out the neck, the gizzards, all that kind of stuff, any extra fat. I'm digging that out. And when I'm digging it out, it's still frozen. So, eeks. So this is the whole chicken. And this is the back of the chicken because the tail's cut off. What? I got gypped. The tail is usually on the back. So I was just gonna show you how easy it was to find the back. Okay. So everybody has their little directions. Turn it back to the front page. And what did I do with my cool knife? Huh? Oh, here it is. This is what the sharpener looks like. Okay, this is the exciting part, guys. So, if you look at the picture, you see what you do is you just take your sharp knife and you just cut it along the backbone, Look at this knife. Imagine a butter knife. And the weird thing about chickens is they're so resistant when they're raw, but when you cook it, it's so tender. But if you're trying to just mess with the skin, it's almost impossible to use a butter knife. Okay, then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick it up. And I'm gonna feel for the joint right here. This is where the wing is hooked, and I can feel it with my thumb. I'm just gonna take my knife and I'm gonna cut that joint apart. See? You guys can't see.
We're fine.
I'm sorry. Anyway, and then rather than climbing over the table and all that kind of stuff, just turn your chicken around like this and do the same thing. Find the joint. And it just really pops. Okay? So you got those 2 steps done. And then you've got the front of the turkey now. I'm going to take it and make a little V in the front. And what I'm really doing is detaching the breast from the chicken, right? Okay, so far it doesn't look hard, and that thing I made, it does really kind of explain that. Okay, so then I turn my chicken back around and I put my thumb in the little holes that I made, and I'm gonna take this. Please don't stick, but it might because it's frozen. Then I just pull. It's easier if I pull like this, but then the front row can't see as well.
You can see it.
Look.
Look at you, skin that leg is perfect.
Look at that. Isn't that easy? So even if half of it came off, you could easily remove the rest of the thing. Now, I taught this class to some vegetarians. And they did not like this project, but guess what? They still did it. I was quite amazed. Then you just take your little knife here and so when I put this on Facebook, I'll have some pictures of a slaughtered up chicken. It looks terrible. And it feels terrible, but it's still good to know, in case you have that chicken running around.
Just make sure you stay out of her camera.
Huh? Yeah, there you go, not just for eggs. Okay, so now I have, look at that beautiful breast. Okay, I'm just gonna put it right here for now. And this little, now I'm gonna turn this around. Remember, you don't have to go around and try and find, you just move the chicken around. Put your finger in the hole or wherever you can find it, get a good grip on it, and you pull the wing. I come with sound effects, so. Isn't that amazing? So I'm really just showing off. But I think it's a good skill. So my two brothers worked at the Hong Kong cuisine for many years, and they would bone like 10 cases of chicken a week. So they were really good. And they had any shape they needed for whatever kind of dish. So they would then prep it afterwards to fit the kind of dishes that they served.
Amazon.
So Suzanne,
Yeah.
do you ever fry your skin?
She gets off Amazon.
No, but I love skins.
Well, I usually don't eat chicken skin, but we went to a buffet and they had these things, you know, and so I go along and I'm eating these things and I
So
said to my husband,
delicious.
it was delicious. I says, what is this? It's really good. And then he told me.
Yeah, chicken skin is so good. Problem is it's so fattening.
But it has a lot of flavor.
But it has so much flavor. So, look at how much I've taken off so far. Now all I have left are the 2 thighs and drumsticks. So I'm just gonna take my knife here. See, pop it.
Good.
That was simple, huh? I got weak today. So just remember to pop the joints and then you can follow the joints. So you're just using your knife to follow the natural curves and parts of the chicken. And then I go and I just take my little knife and clean it up. Any big pieces of meat, but if I don't do that, it's still gonna be useful because I'm gonna stick this and make it into broth. And my favorite way to do it is with my Instant Pot. So I use the Instant Pot several times a week, and so often it's to make broth. Because we're using chicken for this or chicken for that. Or I buy Costco chicken, use the Costco chicken, and make broth out of the bones from that. It's really quite good. So here you go, big giant. Can I get a bowl that I can put this in so that it's not in our way? Please?
Find your Instant Pot, run it for broth, and it'll be all ready when you get home.
Yeah, and when I cook this in the Instant Pot, I will put all the skin and everything in it. And then I'll put it in the fridge, or in this time of the year, you have the whole garage that's your fridge. Put a lid on it, put it in your garage, and the next day you have this layer of fat. You throw it away, and you're great. Giblets, all that stuff. Donna?
I learned from Susie years ago to just put your onion in the skin and everything, because that's still a dried onion, and the bottoms of your celery, and even my peelings, she taught me that, and so I put all that garbage in.
So what you do is you take all your, when you're preparing other dishes, you take a little baggie or a Ziploc bag, and you just put all those things in it and just throw it in your vegetable crisper. And then when you're ready to make the soup, just throw all that stuff in.
Or freeze it, you can freeze all that too, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, and you can freeze it too, and it'll be fine.
I might be really unhealthy, but that fat that comes to the top, I will sometimes take some of that to make a brew for chicken gravy, you know, kind of like.
Oh, yummy. Well, now they're starting to tell us to use beef tallow and natural fats instead of all this other stuff, so. It's gone, the pendulum has swung from one end to the other, and I think the big trick is to be moderate. You just don't wanna eat all fat, although I really want to.
And chocolate.
And chocolate. Okay, so now you see this cool chicken thigh. I do this on the side that has all the stuff, not the clear side. Because what I wanna do is I wanna follow the bone. So basically, all I'm gonna do is find the bone and use this little knife right here. But I'm not gonna press so hard that I cut clear through to the cutting board. See, so now I'm gonna follow this joint right here.
What does the joint look like?
She's gonna pop it out here in a minute, show you.
I'll show you when I take it out.
So you cut around the bone first, and then where the bones connect is where
Yeah,
the bone.
I'll show you. And you don't have to do it like this, you could actually cut, you know, the chunks off and all that, but since I'm showing off and I wanna show you what potential you have, that gives you the opportunity to, you know, slice it thin or slice it big or whatever.
Well, when you do it this way, you can actually take the whole piece and fry it or something.
Yeah.
Or do whatever you want with it.
See, in our family prefers the dark meat. So I think you could actually do this with the turkey. Maybe not do that with the turkey, but this turkey leg part, and it would be really good. So then I take this is so grody, you know, I mean, it's just like, ugh. But you just take your finger and take the meat off. Quit. Put on your smiley face. Your husband said to smile. She has this face. I can do that because she's my friend. Okay, then I just take the knife. And then I'll just take my knife here.
Basically, you're just cutting the meat away from the bone.
Yep, so my bone is my guide. And I think I'm not making fun of whoever said, what does it look like, the joint looks like? Because the next generation only buys parts and pieces of chickens. Only buys legs, only buy wings, only buy breasts. But now you're gonna get to see what.
What is this cut called then?
A quarter.
Oh.
A leg quarter.
Yep, a leg quarter, but it has the thigh and the drumstick.
It's the ultimate wishbone.
Not a wishbone. It looks like a wishbone, but it isn't.
Well, and Winco Foods will sometimes have leg quarters for 79 cents a pound.
Yeah.
I've bought in the 10-pound bags for
Yeah,
that.
so leg quarters are often on sale with skin and everything for 79 or less than $1 a pound.
Well, back when we were growing up, we had to basically butcher out the chicken like that, you know. And we didn't have it like this.
No, just sit it right here. So I'm gonna do it again, just so that you can see. It really isn't that hard, huh? What's the secret? A sharp knife. Paying attention. Look at that direction because it pretty much tells you everything. And you're just separating the joints, the meat from the joints. And then sometimes you cut it too close and then you got a piece of the joint. And so while you're cleaning it up, you kind of keep your eyes open for it. Or you can eat it. Let somebody eat it. If they don't chew well, they won't even know, right? So you just take your knife and cut along the bone, but not hard enough to cut clear through. Could you imagine if Tim Conway was doing this?
Oh my gosh.
I wished he was. I was watching some Facebook things of Tim Conway. There is nobody like. He was the best.
He and Red Scout.
Yeah, oh my gosh, but Tim Conway, he could take any situation and make it hilarious. And he used to make Harvey Korman and all those guys just cry because they never knew what to expect from him. Yep. Yep. That was his pleasure, was to try and crack them all up. So, okay, so I'm not gonna cut this part off till I've taken it all off completely. So this is where you have to use your fingers.
Lana's telling us she does not like to touch raw meat.
No, lots of people don't. That's why, thank goodness, we live in the modern days where you can buy so much of it. So you just have to.
I buy gloves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I brought gloves, but I'm not using them. Sorry. See? So you got all your meat there, and then I'm just gonna cut it away from the bone. This is where you have to be careful because you could cut your finger easily. called dark meat.
Suzanne, dark meat really it's more tender than the chicken breast. Because they don't, that chicken breast, I mean, I buy chicken breast, but chicken breasts they're not as moist.
Chicken breast is the most wonderful meat, but don't overcook it. If you undercook it and set it out, it will finish cooking, but most people will cook it until it's already dead, and then by the time you eat it, it's cardboard.
It's really dead.
It's really dead. And in America, we worry less about it, but Asians will eat it not well done. So when I cook, this sounds so weird, but it's called white chopped chicken in my Instant Pot. You put a whole chicken in my Instant Pot, so it has to be a big chicken. And I'm gonna take the wing off of this breast. Ta-da!
Pretty.
You can just pull the skin off. Ugh. So this is just for fun too. You can just, wings are so expensive now.
Yeah.
But do you remember back in the day when you went to a Chinese restaurant and you could order goblet chicken? And they would take this and they would dip it in some egg and some flour and then deep fry it. You have these cool little drumsticks.
Yeah.
And then you serve it with sweet and sour sauce. So I'm gonna show you how to make that, I think. Because my notes are good, but 40 years is a long time to read your notes carefully. So I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. So I was successful, but I didn't put the knife quite in where I needed to put it when I was making this at home. So we're gonna try and do better. So right here you have another joint. And so when I was doing it before, I forgot about this part, but you just take a knife and you make a slice like right by the joint like this. And then I take a knife and just cut this a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, what you do is you just go pop it like this. And the reason you want to do that is because you want to take out this bone. This is the wing part, the flat, my favorite part. And you pull out, that little bone right there. This is so magical. You know, it makes you feel successful if you can do this. These days it's hard to feel successful. So you've only got one bone there, and then if you pop it right, then you can peel this little drumstick off the bone. And the reason you want to do that is purely for aesthetics, because then it just leaves your pretty bone, you know, a smooth bone instead of a icky bone. But I need to practice this more. So usually it's, you cut this. See, now I'm starting to remember, but I didn't want to have to bone 40 chickens just for this demonstration. Because what do you do with all that chicken? Anyway, then when you pull it, you've got then I take this and I just pull it down. make a little ball just by kind of like turning it inside out.
And did you skin that part?
No,
So it's got the skin part.
I like skin. But if you tried to take the skin off, you wouldn't even have any meat left. So this would be the fattier fried chicken, but I like it. See, like that.
Tastes so good.
You do the same with this. Any questions? That wasn't too bad, was it?
And it really didn't take a lot of time.
It's taking me longer because I'm trying to demonstrate it. But, okay.
One more.
Well, when you're doing this, your hands get really slick, so that's why you have that little towel attached to your apron. And you wipe your fingers off, don't wet them, just wipe your hand off, and make sure
Yeah.
that towel goes right through the thing into the laundry. You need to wash it.
Well,
You're right, you wash it. Don't let it sit until it's for your days.
Okay, I'm kind of playing with this, so I cut it right where the double joint is, and popped it,
So through the cartilage,
you know, through
right?
the cartilage.
Through the cartilage. Cartilage.
Anyway, I would just use the whole wing if I you guys, because how long is it gonna be for you guys to have enough goblet chicken to feed your family? You have to have it for years, right? But that was fun, right? Yeah. Then I'm just gonna take this bone out. And these maid counters really too tall for people like me. 'Cause it's really, it's getting tiring now. And you just use your knife to loosen the meat away from the bones. I'm grossed out a little bit. You can be. This is pretty wild. Most people will never see this. And then you could also go on YouTube and see the 50,000 other ways you can bone a chicken as well. Then I cut the wingtip off. At home, I have my Chinese knife and I just go chop into my soup thing. Almost cut it completely. This is sad. But this is how people used to dress all their meats. I mean, if you ate beef, any of that stuff, you had to use your hands and prepare it and take care of it. Any questions? How many of you are gonna try it once in your life? Oh, cool.
Maybe not this last.
Yeah, I wouldn't do this part, but you could just for fun. Try and read my notes, because this isn't what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look almost just exactly like that when you're done. It's supposed to be all smooth and no gristle and no cartilage. And that isn't what mine looks like.
Chicken nowadays.
Huh?
That's how we come nowadays.
Yeah. So if you do it so that the cartilage pops off, then you have that smooth bone. Ta-da! Okay. So, just to show you, this 8-pound chicken, this is the breast. Two breasts, so this is a half a breast, and that's what made all that white chicken that we're gonna cook next. I better quit talking, or you guys are gonna have to leave and not taste anything. How would that be, guys? Okay, 2 breasts,
Big breast.
the rest of the breast, the tenders, the thigh and the drumstick. And just the bits and pieces that I cut off. And the giblets, the gizzard. I put this in the stock pot. So you're using 100% of the chicken.
Good job.
All right. If my hands are all really gooey now. The thing I don't like about chicken is you're so scared to use it because they say, oh, you're gonna get salmonella, you're gonna kill everybody. Which you really won't if you're careful, but, so now I'm setting all this aside. So I'm not gonna cross-contaminate anything. Then I'm gonna wash my hands. This is how you feel like a surgeon, right? I watch that on TV, because they use their elbows and their arms.
Are we gonna sing happy birthday?
Uh,
We're supposed to be singing happy birthday. How long is
Oh, A, B, C.
Yeah, there you go.
Twice. Okay, let's see. Let's plug this back in. I hope this is gonna be a quick turn around. It should be, but I can see the problem is gonna be the dipping it in the egg and the flour and frying it. That's the hardest part.
So you still wanna do some of it in the fry pan as snow?
No. This will be quick. Huh? Oh yeah, I'm gonna cook it in a wok. But this is Cantonese fried chicken, so that means it's supposed to be fried. So you just take these little bits and pieces like this, and you dip it in the egg, and then in the flour, and then you just deep fry it. So what I would like to have is something I can take, like a slotted spoon that we can take the cooked chicken out. And then we're gonna put cooked chicken. And how about a bowl so I can put cooked chicken, put some paper towels in there. So, simple, just dip it in egg, flour. Remember, I put a little garlic salt. Huh? I put garlic salt in my chicken. Thank you. Yeah. It's not very hot yet. We're gonna see if we can do this fast. Egg, 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 egg. Simple, right? This was 2 eggs. And I won't reuse this flour. I didn't know how much to put in there, so I just put it on. And the usual, as Susie told us, and it's really true, usually by the time it floats up to the top, it's done. So you can tell it's not very hot yet.
What kind of oil do you usually use?
This is just canola. And I really like this kind of a fryer either the Fry Baby or the Fry Daddy, because you can then take something and get all the ookies out of it and just reuse it again without having to pour it out and put it in this and that and the other.
A question about this, is there any way to do it like in an air fryer, or is it just not the same?
Pardon me?
Is there any way to cook it in an air fryer instead of deep frying it, or does it just not taste the same?
I'm sure you can, I've just not experienced with the air fryer. The problem I can see with it is, it might be, stick to your air fryer. So you would want to, spray your air fryer, and then usually for me to be successful with an air fryer, is you're gonna take your oil and still squirt it on top of your battered chicken, so that it has some oil to fry. Because otherwise you're just gonna have this fried flour on top. You know what I mean? So what I might do is I might just show you a couple of these, and then we'll just finish frying it and going for you to pick up your stuff. But imagine, that's a lot of food you can feed your family right here, just with the chicken breast for one chicken. Looks like popcorn, huh? So this was not on, the menu at the Hong Kong cuisine. It's just like the special people that came every time. And Danny or somebody would fix a special little meal for them. But this looks like the least Chinese thing that you could actually eat.
Well, now, loading to the top now isn't holding true. Just
Yeah,
loading
it's not ready.
Yeah.
But I cut these pretty small. So don't do that. You want it a little bit brown,
Let them get a little older, yeah.
a little bit of color.
And I used another Susie trick. I very carefully put my chicken in when I made our buttermilk chicken.
Slide it in.
Yeah, and I wasn't scared after she showed me.
Right,
Yeah, it worked pretty good.
especially if you're using whole chicken breasts and things, you don't wanna plop it in, or you're gonna get oil splashing all over. And she said to always use one dry hand and one wet hand. I'm trying to hurry.
I sent that pretty one in there.
In the case of where you mix that like that, you can use both hands to load your.
Yeah, but now I'm gonna have a problem because. So the other thing that you would worry about, in doing it right now is I put like half the chicken in there. And it's gonna cool down the oil a little. But this fried grandpappy is pretty good at maintaining the heat, more so than some appliances.
If you really wanna get that sticky off your hands, shake a little salt on it first, throw it around and put it off. Your water.
Thanks.
Repeat that.
Salt, if you've got that sticky food batter on your hands when you're breading stuff, just take the salt shaker and shake the salt on your hands, rub it around really good, and then do the same wash it comes right off.
And then more salt.
Or have somebody shake it on your hands. Cause right now, my hands are pretty gross.
Yeah, because
It's gonna be good, huh? So now I'm gonna just take this and heat my wok up. Rear. Okay, and a lot of these recipes say to use sherry or rice wine, and I don't use either one, because it's hardly enough to make a difference anyway, so why bother? more stuff in your fridge.
Water or what? What do you substitute?
Nothing, cause it's like a tablespoon. I'm not that picky about it. So I'm heating up my wok. Marcia, can you read me how to cook it real fast so that I can try to follow
Let's
it?
see. In a wok, heat 2 tablespoons of oil and add garlic and stir fry. Throw in the chicken and saute for 2 minutes. Add soy and wine and stir for 1 minute.
What do you think?
Yep.
Looks good. Smells divine.
And it's cooked because it's white meat. Think how long this would take in an air fryer. If you're trying to feed your whole family, unless you have a cool oven that has air fryer or convection oven, then you could put the whole tray in.
Did you say that was all one chicken breast?
This is one chicken's worth of breasts.
When you don't have a fry down, you can just use your skillet.
Yeah, just use your skillet. Yeah, I like this because it travels with me when and then when I'm done, I can just put it in my car and hope I don't tip it over. Because otherwise, your skillet has to cool down, and you can't even pick it up.
Do they even sell them anymore?
Yeah. So for a family of 2, you just get a fry daddy. And this one's a fry grandpappy. So. Or look on your, yard sales and things, cause people, they don't believe in eating this kind of stuff anymore. Okay, so now I'm gonna use my pan is hot. Oil,
Hot pan.
this is my favorite oil thing, just take the lid off.
Okay, 2 tablespoons of oil, add garlic and stir fry.
Okay, and I can tell my oil's really hot. So I could easily burn my garlic, especially if it's fresh garlic. Oh, hey, take this plastic off. Trying to hurry so you guys can go home today sometime. So you put in the garlic and fry it. And then what do I do? What do I do next? Throw in the chicken.
Add soy and wine and stir for 1 minute.
So I'm using this soy sauce, but just use cucumber. Cause I don't have cucumber. This is how I measure. Soy sauce and what?
Add your wine.
On my wine.
What is that sauce?
Huh?
Soy sauce.
That's soy sauce?
Probably low
Yeah.
sodium, I think.
I was like, it's not soy sauce.
It's not
And then
low.
what?
Okay, so I looked it up. If you don't wanna use wine, you can use chicken broth or vegetable broth and add lemon or vinegar. So if you don't have to use sherry or white wine, you can substitute
Yeah, or skip it.
or skip it, which is what you're doing.
Okay, now what do I do, Marcia?
Make sure to the
Broth?
sauce and serve immediately.
Add the vegetables.
Add vegetables.
Okay, now we're gonna add the broth for the
Oh,
vegetables.
add veggies, broth, and salt and sugar.
Cantonese fried chicken. I'm gonna cook the next batch in just a second, so I'm just gonna add half. Those who have to go can eat first.
Did you do something about wrong, what's wrong with salt and sugar?
She's doing that. There's the broth. She's doing it now. That's the broth.
Oh,
That's broth.
okay. And then, oh.
And that's really all there is to it. You're just gonna cook it till your green beans and mushrooms are hot, but we're not going to, we're gonna eat it. Then I'll cook the next batch.
So did you put the salt and sugar in it too?
Oh, I didn't put salt and sugar.
Yeah.
Marcia, a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of sugar.
And you might not even need this because I put the garlic salt in.
Are you gonna do your mushrooms, did you say?
Mushrooms are in the bag. Pour them in.
Oh, she already put some in.
She put half a bag of mushrooms and half a bag of greens.
Okay. We are ready to eat. Well, I got this other batch. This is white rice that I cooked in my rice cooker. And just take a little bit of chicken initially. And here is the butter chicken that you're gonna put on your rice. Okay, it's ready.
So she has two kids still, or does she have a kid?
Yeah, that's right.
My husband ended up being, very, actually, you know, crazy for her. When she came last time, she got a big one. Yeah. So she just came a big one.
It's been a year.
She's going to crowd. Well, tell her to come back. Definitely come and say when she came, like, using
Is it good? That was it.
Do you want to take it? I'll have a bite.
Yeah, but he took his bishop of the YSA first. It's, we have this. So you're in like tape conference or I heard you moved. He lives 2 doors down. Oh yeah, I have. I didn't even think of
Or the
Yeah,
phone.
now she's been to rehab until Friday.
Sorry.
Yeah, Todd and I will.
She's doing well. It's too good for her Saturday too.
Yeah. Oh, she's got so much. You can just tell she's losing momentum. And so, and then she's also scared.
She's just like a sister. She's been there for a
I don't blame her. I blame all of her losses.
See you again, but feature room.
What? Because Jesus is.
What that means. Not just that I don't want to be a Christian, but to understand where you're coming to the church. It is. It's really awesome. They keep coming. I mean, you know how it is. This is Christianity. From Hindu. Oh yeah, you understand. It's in the back. In a way, yeah, I mean, just to help out. Yeah, they're trying to teach it. Did you get your name?
Yeah.
And my one, she just graduated last year. Her name's Crystal, and she comes from the like 8 hours away from her. Like she and then my other gal, her daughter, I'm not going to share it this year. I'm excited to get to see her before she graduates.
Well, there we go. There you go.
Yeah.
white
Is
rice.
the fried chicken good? That fried chicken good?
Yeah.
I just remember it being so good. What? Yeah. What?